There is no room for fear in the draft. There is no mercy in the turn. Only the fast survive, and only the brave take the checkered flag! Are you ready? Are you ready for the clash at Daytona? Featuring the UIS, Precision, Speed Solutions, Cup Series!
Under the lights at Daytona International Speedway, the stage is set for speed, strategy, and pure chaos. Tonight, the UIS Precision Speed Solutions Cup Series kicks off with its annual clash. 80 laps around the world center of racing. No points are on the line, but the draft rules, the margins razor thin, and survival is just as important as speed. So glad you could join us here on Precision Entertainment for all the action. Marty Scala, Jeremy Miller, and our entire production team. Jeremy, we are set to go for an exciting season. We're taking to the checkered flag for the next few months up until December at Auto Club Speedway. But tonight begins Speed Weeks for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, Daytona is always the best time of year for all these drivers. Everybody loves coming out to this racetrack. A lot of fun. And they're going to put on quite a show for us here tonight for sure. Definitely some new names getting acclimated to one another. Definitely going to feel each other out, see how we're going to race each other all season long.
Absolutely. Last season, Alexander Ortega taking the championship. But tonight, resets here at Daytona, a 2.5 mile super speedway, banked at 31 degrees. If you're not the best in this series, this is the place where the stakes are wide open.
Yeah, plate race is definitely the ultimate wild card. I think a lot more skill comes into play at these tracks than a lot of people get credit for, but you see the distance tonight. We're going to have an 80-lap show. Stage is lap 15, lap 65. That's going to be a quick run to the end, Marty. A lot of packed-up racing in a short stint there.
Keep in mind as well, one fast repair, so if you get in an accident, it is not the end of the world for you. Field is getting set to grid here for tonight's 80-lap exhibition road. As you get a live view overhead of the World Center of Racing, just wrapping up the Daytona 500 a couple weeks ago. The field is gritty. Over 33 drivers with us, I should say, this evening. You take a look at the front row here for our race tonight. Finnegan Myers and Hector Collazo will make up the front row for this stacked field this evening. Myers' time of 48.645 200ths in front of Collazo's number 16. Pair of Chevys make up row 2. Nicholas Martinez Jr. in the 48. Next to Kendorian Davis in car number 5. The third row, Brady Schreckengost in the 3. The outside, Calvin Harvey in the 97. And row 4, Tyler Helms in the 7. Zach Trevino in the 15. Rounding out the top 10 this evening, Trenton Wilkin in the 17. Asher Bunkley in the 79.
First of our drivers to miss the top 10 in qualifying is going to be Wyatt Thompson in that 2 car. Next to the Bears car, there with Travis Prather in 12. Rolling off 13th, then it's going to be Chase Smith, and on his outside is going to be Carmelo Echeverra rolling off 14th. Jose Lopez is going to roll off 15th, joining by Max Ford in the Dutch Bros 11 car in 16th. 18th, then it's going to be Jacob S. Bryant, and 17th is going to be Joshua Carey. While rounding out our top 20 are going to be Alexander Ortega, that former champion, and Juniper Brewer in 20th.
Row number 11, Aaron Kovnat in the 91. To the outside, Jason Hall in the 4. And then it's Colby Duckworth starting 23rd in the 33. Nicholas Rowe to the outside in the 90. Kai Collymore starting 25th in the 39. To the outside, it's Aiden Carbarubia, in the 18. Damian Cisneros starts 27th. Luke Grennan rolls off from 28th. And rounding out the top 30 this evening, Henry Kohlhoff in the 56. And Riley Ibanez in the 98. Rest of the field here, this is Jackson Brown, final driver to take time in the 96. The rest lined up via iRating. Christian Zarate in the 99. Michael Deitch in the 76. And Joseph Enright in the 07. So a 34-car field set to bring us to the green flag for this 80-lap show.
Got one more pace lap when they come back around here. Sorry about that, Marty. Quick look at the weather conditions here. We got a 96-degree track temp. These cars will slide around a little bit. That wind will push them around too, but very humid. That'll keep them sealed to the racetrack too as they're going for some denser air.
Let's talk about this race here real quick for tonight for Daytona. 34 laps. It's basically a high-speed chess match in the early going, Jeremy. But make no mistake, it'll turn into checkers when the laps wide down, and then one wrong move, one mistimed push, and the race can unravel in an instant.
Always got to be careful on those bumpers here. Do have the fast repair tonight, so you guys will get another shot if they make a mistake early to recover from it. But they're going to be pushing each other really hard. You can push 2, 3, even 4 cars back in these lines now with these cars. So going to be some heavy hits, and you got to hold on to it. But you don't want to get that bumper damage because that will slow you down quite a bit even in the draft.
You've got that competition break at lap 15, and then it's basically just one fuel stop expected the rest of the way. Strategy will just be as important as raw pace. How do you time your move, and how do you find the right drafting partners throughout the night?
You're just going to eyeball what cars are making the right moves, and you just got to feel the momentum between the lanes. It comes down to really just playing chess with your car here, putting yourself in the right positions, and I don't think there's a wrong time to make a move. It's just whether or not the move is the right move. That really is the question at this place.
Well, let me ask you this. When we get, I know it's way early to ask you this. It's, when we get to the white flag, where do you want to be to have a chance of the win? Do you want to be leading, but do you take that risk of being a sitting duck? Or do you want to be running in second or a spot behind that in the end?
I think most drivers will probably tell you that they usually want to be second, maybe even third in line in those situations, but I think leading the race is where you have the most control. Just dragging your brakes, keeping your bumper on the front bumper of the car behind you so you can't pull out and get that run, but if there's a whole line coming behind you 3 wide, there's really not much you can do from the lead at the same time.
Riding in the car with Aaron Kovna. Just got to get that pregame snack before we go green. There's Trenton Wilkin. We ride in car with him. Just some of the drivers providing onboard perspectives here this evening. Do want to mention as well all the in-car cameras as well as the cameras around the 2.5-mile tri-oval, all provided by our friends at Whiplash SimCams. Great look overhead of the World Center of Racing, Lake Lloyd in the foreground. Daytona USA out there in turn number 4. About 30 seconds away from taking the green flag. It's 80 laps of holding your breath. No points on the line, but there is a monetary bonus for the one who comes across the checkered flag first. That could possibly give them an advantage into the 500 a couple weeks from now. Should be 1 lap here until we take the green flag. Let's while we're at, let's talk with another driver here before we take the green flag. We'll bring in Brady Streckengost here in car number 3. Excuse me, Brady. It's Marty and Jeremy up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
All right, Brady. 80 laps. Just bragging rights basically on the line. When you start for the back of the race like this, when there's nothing on the line, what's the game plan going in?
Honestly, even with nothing being on the line, I treat it like even if I was full-time, I'm still going to look at the longevity of this race. Going to try to stay out of them as much mess as possible. Kind of play it safe for most part of it. We only got 1 fast repair, so I can't really be making mistakes or being caught up in somebody else's stuff. So to be honest, just going to keep my head down. Should have been at the front, we're at the back. A little bit of work ahead of us, but I think we're still going to get it figured out nonetheless. I'm definitely not new to the Cup Series at all, but figured I'd come and do this.
Sorry about that. Do you treat this as like an extra practice session entering tonight?
Well, it's just, I kind of use it as like yeah, I guess you could say that. It's been a while since I've driven with all these guys at the same time. Kind of stayed away from a Cup Series for a while, so it's going to be interesting to say the least.
All right, Brady, all the best of luck here, and we'll see what happens at the end of 80 laps.
Oh yeah, thank you, I appreciate it.
Really, that. Oops. That. I know Brady's definitely looking forward to that for sure. So, but Field makes the way off of turn number 4. When the pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road, it'll be in the hands of Finnegan Myers and Kendorian Davis pacing the field to green flag. The iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road. Where else would you rather be than right here? Right now, it's the Clash at Daytona. It's showtime of the World Center of Racing.
See one there to the outside already. Marty dropping to the back quickly. You'll see some drivers do that here. Try to get out of harm's way. Try to get to the back and avoid those crashes. See one blink in the middle field too. That's never something you want to see this early at Daytona.
Takes them about half a lap or so to get up to speed, 195 miles an hour down the Daytona super stretch. And yes, some drivers playing a patient, want to hang out in the back of the field for right now. But out in front, Myers gained the push for Martinez Jr., followed by Helms, first driver up on the outside. That's Davis, now slots his way down in front of Thompson. As they're 3x3 behind the top 6 drivers, Myers leads the opening lap.
Single file out front, but like you said, 3x3 for the middle of that field. Some of these guys, oh, right there, that's a huge moment. Some of these guys, 4 wide, they're going to be wrecking right there in the wall. They kept it straight, they're still 4 wide. Some cars not holding that car straight like they should be through the corners there, and they stacked up into each other quite a bit.
That was Duckworth, I believe, of the 33 that caught the wall and nearly caused a chain reaction big one. It's only lap number 2 of this one. I think drivers are going to have to learn here, especially when we get to the 500 a couple weeks from now. Patience is the name of the game early on here. Something as well we got to keep in mind as well that drivers are dealing with. First race tonight that they're dealing with increased horsepower. As you see a lead change, Nicholas Martinez out to the front of the field. An increased horsepower. The cars typically run 670, but tonight they're running approximately 737 with a 10% buff. How's that going to change the way the race cars drive tonight, possibly?
I'm not really sure what it's going to do to them, to be honest. I've been asking that question to myself here, and I think that out front it may lead to a little bit less of a bog effect. Once you hit clean air on the cars, it might make it a little bit easier to lead the race, but obviously the speed's so much higher, mistakes are going to be all the more costly.
Now the field has moved down, double wide, 2x2. Here comes Zachary Trevino in the 15. Ortega edges him out at the start-finish line. See Hall at the same time in that number 4, second car up top. Trying to side draft as well. That'll be a key for a lot of drivers when we get to the final laps of this one. But the high side's starting to lose some steam here, Jeremy.
Yeah, definitely headed just a little bit backwards there right now. Not formed up quite good. There's some guys that are just not looking like they're the most comfortable. But you see, just as we say that, the inside moves up, elevator move, and that's going to send Trevino backwards on the inside line.
Big push on the top shelf. They stack up a little bit, Ortega and Trevino. It's Myers and Martinez Jr. second and first, respectively. Big cut down for Martinez Jr. Knows the low side has the momentum, on board with your race leader.
Good look off that back spoiler right here. You see the speed's honestly not too different than normal to what I would say we would see here with the normal horsepower. So I think the downforce is still really keeping these cars pretty bogged down with this plate package that is on the track. So Daytona, oh, big block there to the outside, though. You gotta be careful with that this early. You make that a little bit too late, you are gonna turn yourself.
Absolutely. If you do it, especially this early on in the race, that second group can sometimes go to the outside of you because you'll have no clean air, no momentum. You'll be stuck in the sucker hole in a 3-wide situation. Nobody wants to be your friend out there.
Yeah, and you also got to remember side draft going to be a big factor as well. So if you're on that inside line and that happens to you by yourself, that's why you see yourself going backwards so fast. Not only have you lost your help, but you're also actively being slowed down by the aero situation. That's why we'll see the third line form up like it is right now and come forward a little bit, but they're still not really staying committed anywhere. These drivers all moving around looking for every bit they can get.
Big cut down from Ortega in that 32, on board with Calvin Harvey in the 97, making his first Cup start. Filling in for Maxwell Funderburk this evening. Trying to make it right all the way down the basement, hugging that double yellow line. It doesn't really have a lot of help at the moment. In the 15, Zach Trevino separated by about maybe 2-3 car lengths or so. Oh, look at this. Ortega now tries to thread the needle in front of him, 3 wide, but it's still Myers out in front. 9 to go before the competition caution.
I'll tell you, Harvey showed a lot of what you should do in a pack right there. Unfortunately, got to the front of this line and wasn't able to go anywhere, but made some good moves to get himself positioned well there. And right now, another move to the bottom on the inside. That is Ortega now going to take the lead down the back straightaway. I don't know if he's clear all the way up, but he might think about trying to get to that third line. If he is, and he will, but not quite going to get there.
Thought for a moment he was trying to side drive at the same time. If not, he got a risky bump from Kai Collymore, the 39. Look how close they are. 3 by 3 by 3. This could get ugly in a hurry. Meanwhile, Tyler Helms, you know, sometimes we call that the sucker hole, but same time he was probably in a comfortable spot being in front of this in the dry air because you won't have to deal with any cars wrecking in front of you.
Yeah, it's definitely, and we talked about too with the power, but it's going to move the cars around. Oh, right there!
Oh, there they go.
Around in the front.
Helms goes around in the 7. And this is the big one that everyone fears at Daytona. 7, 8, 9 cars involved off of 2. Hall is in it. Duckworth. Myers. It all started when Helms in that 7 car got sideways on the bottom. He just tried to throw a block in front of the 4 of Jason Hall, and it just got ugly from there. Let's get another look, Jeremy.
I'm going to take a look here at the Speed Solutions replay here. See what started this up front. See just a little bit in front of the screen there. 7 got put sideways. And just, oh my god, huge hit right there to the outside. And another hard hit there. A lot of cars just coming to that wall head on. And nowhere for many of these guys to go.
Duckworth took an ugly hit as well there at the same time. Race Control has given that EOL to Helms in the 7. They don't do an instant point rule like iRacing does. They'll tally off the fault of incidents. This is what happened mid-pack as drivers are just trying to avoid it. That's Martinez with nowhere to go in the 48. And again, this takes us back here to the quick repair. A lot of drivers have everyone has one quick repair go on and in, but those drivers that were involved likely going to have to use it early on in this race, and that means they'll have to play some more patience throughout the next 65 laps or so, under 65 laps. On board with Helms.
Yeah, just, you saw he kind of had a car trying to get to his right rear there in the middle and tried to come down the bottom. Just wasn't there and got himself sideways in front of the field, and massive hit to the 98 on the outside there of Ibanez too when he came up, and even more cars just kept piling into it.
That was Myers as well behind Helms in the 00. Looked like he gave him a bump draft. I don't know if it forced Helms to come down low or not, but Helms, regardless of it, did cut down to the bottom.
Even could have just been the air pulling that car around, Marty. Sometimes with the side draft on both sides of these things, you can get put in a weird spot where it just moves your car for you, and you have the wheel put in a certain direction. It just really goes that way. But we have some pit stops here early.
Yeah, some drivers going to come in, top off on fuel. No points up for grab here tonight, like I mentioned, but at the stage where it kind of could help you out if you're a driver in particular, as this is how Ortega misses pit box by a mile. Gives you a chance to top off on fuel if you do come in, and then if you're one of those drivers that finishes behind some of those drivers that finish on the lead lap, once they pit and cycle through, you'll be out near the front.
Saw Jack's up on a couple of those too, so it might be a mistake. Somebody didn't remember to uncheck the tires, or maybe somebody just felt like, yeah, we got plenty of sets at Daytona, I don't care, I'll take one. But definitely gonna shake up the running order a little bit as we have some cars that stayed out as well. We'll see how that plays out on this ensuing restart.
So 4 drivers stay out. There's Jackson Brown, Aaron Kovnat, Max Ford, Brady Schreckengast. That will be a part of the front 2 rows. Race off of pit road, Wyatt Thompson, Josh Carey, Hector Colazzo, Kidorian Davis, Chase Smith. That was the top 5. Some drivers preparing to take some damage, so they don't have to use that quick repair. Some drivers, though, at the same time, if I'm noticing here as well, Jeremy, drivers like Trenton Wilkin, Damian Cisneros, Michael Deitch, Colby Duckworth. Also, for the looks of the pit time here, they're taking tires, too.
Yeah, definitely some tires there, and you got to think some of the guys that were in that wreck probably didn't have as bad a damage as others, so we may even see some guys that were taking some normal repairs here instead of using that fast repair. Save that for later. Even if you have to limp around with a little bit of a damaged car, it might be worth saving that repair.
It takes a little bit over about 90 seconds or so to get around Daytona at caution pace, so definitely helps to not really use the quick repair depending on the repair time. Check and see here if we go 1 to green this time. And lights are off the pace car. We'll keep it with you. So it will be 4 laps to go before we take the green flag.
See some more coming down to top off there, Marty, so fuel's going to be at a premium here, it looks like, for these guys.
Field window, keep in mind about 35 to 40 laps. Remember, in the draft, you lift, so it helps you out with the economy run a little bit. Puts you about 41 to 43.
You do have to think, though, with the guaranteed yellow coming up really soon, topping off here really doesn't do anything for you compared to what topping off there would. And less topping off here means you can stay out at that point and still get to the number you want to get to. But there's so many laps to go until we get to that second stage. I just don't know if that number is entirely possible.
Again, glad you could join us on Precision Entertainment for all the action. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Let us know who we're all rooting for in the chat. Driver restarting in third, Max Ford to be this onboard Kovnat in the 91. Driver behind Kovnat restarting third, Max Ford. Actually a past winner of the Clash back in Season 4 when that ran at Auto Club. In fact, 4 past Clash winners in the field this evening. Last September at North Wilkesboro, Alex Ortega taking the checkered flag in the end in that one. So set for the restart, back on board with Wilkin. We'll restart around row 12, row 13. A lot of drivers restarting tail end of the longest line because of pitting when the pits were closed. Here we come, back to the restart. Jackson Brown fires the Petro Canada 96. Here we go, 4 laps to go before the competition yellow.
Way out in front there, not typically what you want to do on a restart here because now both lines are going to be coming hounding at him. We'll see what he does. Picking the block that bottom, usually the wiser decision because that guy's pinned and not going to be able to go anywhere. But Kovnat with a huge surge on the outside. That was a big bump. He'll get to the right rear here down the backstretch.
Who gets the push off at turn 2? Some drivers fanning out 3 wide, others in the back, drop bane to the back. They don't trust that they'll have a good chance to win the stage. But it's Kovnat in the 91 with the race lead. Brown thought about throwing the needle, has the door slammed. Colby Duckworth in that 33 tries to create a third groove up on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. 3 by 3 off of turn number 4, coming to 3 laps to go in the opening stage.
Middle was taking a minute to get formed up there. Oh, that was a tight moment there. Collymore wasn't quite clear of that middle and tried to follow Duckworth down. That'll get himself shuffled into the middle, trying to get reformed up with Kovnat there in the 91. Oh, big moment as well for Road on the outside as they're trying to get that line back to the front.
Duckworth, this was a driver that was involved in the first caution. Almost caused a wreck on lap 2 at the same time after scraping the wall. Blocked by Collymore in the 39, trying to get himself out to the point here possibly. But it's Duckworth, Brown for the front, 3 at the bottom. Some drivers scrape the wall on the outside. Big bump draft from the 90 on board with Nicholas Road, and he nearly pops the wall once again. The high side starting to lose some steam. 2 to go in stage 1.
Not sure if it's the increased power, but these drivers do seem to be really struggling with the handling here right now. You see that outside line has absolutely died because of that contact with the wall and just the overall insecurity in the rear of the race cars. Right now up front though, you see bumper to bumper in both lines. They are pushing really well as they race for the lead. Oh, contact there between Brown and Duckworth.
They just about bang doors off in turn 2. Duckworth comes through to the lead. He can cut down on Brown if he wants to, but that 96 starting to blink at the same time. Not what you want, especially when you're in the front of this pack. And now Ford giving him a little bit of a shove. They get some extra daylight on Carey in the 35. Final lap underway here in stage 1. Big side
Easy
drop
to
from
recover.
Brown. Up the hill he goes for a moment, Jeremy.
They're phasing into each other right there. Definitely still some internet connection issues with 96. There goes the Collingwood to the outside, though. He'll hang out. Duckworth in the 33. The entire middle line moves up. He's going to fall way backwards. If that hurts the progress of everybody, the inside line way clear now.
Duckworth in the sucker hole, loses some insurance. Jackson Brown in a comfortable spot for right now. Ford, though, with the slingshot on the outside. Side drafts him into turn number 3. The stage is on the line. Max Ford, here comes as well the 2 of Wyatt Thompson with a chance. 2 by 2 coming off at turn number 4. Who is going to bring us to the caution flag is the question. Brown and Ford, side by side, a drag race to the stripe. Give it to Brown by a bumper.
Thompson came to Brown at the last moment there with a great push, and it was just enough to get that 96 ahead to finish that stage. That'll be a stage win for the 96 of Jackson Brown.
So with that, we'll step aside, take our first break of the night. Be back in a minute. Jackson Brown, your stage winner. 15 laps are complete, 65 to go. It is the clash here at Daytona International Speedway for the UIS Cup Series on Precision Entertainment. Welcome back to the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway for the UIS Precision Speed Solutions Cup Series here at Daytona. Bryce Calla with you alongside Jeremy Miller and our entire production staff here with you for a brand new season, season number 7. Crazy to think that August here, Jeremy, is when we ended season number 6. Went by so fast.
Yeah, these seasons do always seem to fly by, just kind of turning them off over year. When a league's been around this long, they'll really all start to blend together, and they start to really build their own history and their own character, which is just the unique thing that this opportunity provides us with.
Pit road is open out of the stage win. Jackson Brown, the lone Canadian in the field, makes his way down pit road, and everyone, from the looks of it, except maybe 1 or 2, will get to top off fuel. And again, fuel is at a premium here tonight, and wouldn't be surprised if some drivers topped off on fuel. And now as we look at things here through the rest of this race, it's basically going to be a one-stop race when we get the green flag.
Yeah, one stop from here for sure for fuel. We'll definitely see how that plays out with tires. We saw handling just really coming in and see some jacks up across the field here. So I think drivers are realizing they want some fresh rubber when they get the opportunity under yellow here.
Been told that Jackson Brown has been sent to the pits, the stage winner, due to connection issues. So with that, Brown is been set behind the wall for right now until the internet can get fixed up. Race off pit road, meanwhile, won by Wyatt Thompson in the 2. Josh Carey second in the 35. Alex Ortega in the 32. Michael Deitch in the 76. Colby Duckworth in the 33. 2 drivers stayed out. Tyler Prather in the 58. Tyler Helms in the 7. But would have to expect them to come in this time by. A couple things while we're waiting here under the caution flag. Obviously, Daytona Super Speedway, we've talked about it in the past here. Jeremy. It's a chess match. If you're in the lead pack, you have a chance to win this one. And we have had 9 races at Daytona, 6 different winners.
Yeah, definitely a track that you're going to see those numbers usually be the highest at, but obviously we can see quite a bit of different, you know, players stay up front at these tracks, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's usually a consistent factor of guys that are the best play racers and will be up front. That's where you'll see those repeat winners at a place like Daytona.
Update on Jackson Brown, by the way, he will not return to this race. He has received the meatball flag and is done for the night. So while some drivers are coming in to top off on fuel, we'll check in with our social media reporter for the evening, Jagger Finley. And Jagger, what have you noticed? Your big takeaways so far through the first 15 laps?
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be definitely a very interesting race to see how, as we saw on lap 8, it definitely was a very bit of a chaos with about that 7 to 8 car crash. It is going to be definitely, hopefully, looking like it's going to be a race of survival. See who's going to be able to stick it up and keep it up front and keep it straight. As we saw, what caused that crash was someone got loose on the bottom. Now, a lot of teams some people took tires, not all, and they definitely obviously had to get fuel.
Obviously, this is a one-stop race for the rest of the way through. How do you set this pit stop up? Possibly, should it go green to the end?
Yeah, many drivers, especially Jason, he was talking about maybe having the top line save fuel, so that they can make sure that they are going to be able to get all the way without having to worry about having to late save at the end.
Alrighty, sounds good. Jagger, appreciate you taking some time. We'll check in with you throughout the night, all right? So that's Jagger Finley, our social media reporter. Yeah, we'll have some fun things here throughout the evening when we get done on social media and Precision Entertainment. So let's reset the field here as we come back to the green flag. We'll be 19 laps complete when we restart under Barney's Emerald Silk. Travis Prather selects the bottom. He and Wyatt Thompson share row 1. Row number 2, Michael Deitch and Colby Duckworth. Row number 3, Kai Collymore and Kendorian Davis. Row number 4, Aaron Kovnat, Henry Kalhoff. And running out the top 10 is Jason Hall and Finnegan Myers.
Gonna take a quick look at the front nose of that 58 car there. He has some nose damage from pushing somebody a little too hard, punched in. That's gonna hurt him when he's leading a line here, so we'll see how he does.
So we come back to the green flag. Is this a situation where you'd rather be pushing or obviously you wouldn't want to be the pushy, but would you still be okay with pushing?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely pushing at these restarts for sure. It's where you're trying to get the lines going, but when you're in the spot like that 0 right now and you're pushing a car on nose damage, it can really get him sealed to your nose and you'll start to overheat a little bit quicker than normal because he doesn't have the power to really gap himself off your nose in the corners to give you a little bit of room to read. But already a bad push on the backstretch there. It's really squirrely right now.
Already getting risky here with a lot of racing left to go here in the clash. Davis fakes the cut up top. Stays behind Duckworth of the 33. The high side's got all the steam at the moment. And Thompson's got a great gap over Travis Prather. The first guy at the bottom for now is Duckworth and Davis join him downstairs, leaving Kalhoff, the first driver, up on the middle group. He's battling for third at the moment. Take a look at Prather here, the 58. Currently running in 7th, started back in 12th.
Big move there. Collymore trying to fill a hole in the outside line. Right now, Thompson out front. Oh, we're going to be shuffling. He's going to chase him down to the bottom. That is an aggressive block, but he pulled it off the front of the 56 Kalhoff.
A little bit of a gap between 2nd and 3rd. Here's Hall. Big bumper to Kalhoff. Again, upgraded horsepower for all the cars here. Typically 670. They're all running 737. Hall for 2nd. And he wants the lead. Wants to go 2 for 1 on the 2nd groove.
He'll get it for now. Duckworth there with the push. He's been the biggest picture, I think, up front all day. Duckworth has been in the picture every time we've looked at the front of this pack. Hall as well. And see what Collymore does here. He's going to follow that 33 car. That's going to put the 39 into the lead, and the 4 has absolutely no help.
And Hall's about to go bye-bye down the field. So much ground loss being in that clean air, and nobody wanted to work with him. Down to 5th. New leader Colby Duckworth across the line here at Daytona.
And we can see the pack here definitely a little bit thinned out. Oh, you don't want to get on that left rear bear, Kai. That's how you turn somebody, but the pack thinned out. Not racing quite as hard here to start this segment of the race. I think guys just trying to get towards the end and have a chance to race for it a little bit later.
You can tell this is not packed out 2x2, 3x3. Now that we have a race to the checkers, possibly no competition yellow, everyone wants to play it safe here at the moment. An Amtrak train totally necessary at this point.
You see a lone car there on the outside line right now. That is Wilkin trying to work the top. He's got some friends coming to him. You'll have help here in a moment. You see N right behind him and Kovnat behind him. So they're just trying to get there right now. But when you're by yourself, you're just side drafting, trying to hold on as much as you can. But it's just really a lost cause.
See that first side-by-side battle on your screen. Wilkin, Kalhoff, 7th on the line. Now, if you're trying to get that... Oh, look out, we got trouble. Hall's around the 4th. Same with the 99 of Zarate. They're all trying to save it down the super stretch. A big hit to the inside for Zarate. Third caution flies, lap 24 at Daytona.
Zarate torn up right there in that 99 car. That's heavy damage. We'll take another look at a Precision Speed Solutions replay here. See what happened to Hall in the 4. See him already around that there. Hard hits all around. And that 99 got sent all the way down the inside wall. He just couldn't get it to stop before it went down there and hit it.
On board with Secordic. And you see already the 4 spinning around like a top. Now watch this hit Zarate takes. Right there. A heavy hit, but definitely did some pretty good nose damage on the Fast Cash Racing Designs 99. But Hall took the brunt end of the impact. And he looks like he got yeeted off of turn 2 from somebody from behind. Just a bad bump draft. You got to make sure the bump drafts here at Daytona absolutely lined up perfectly.
See a car with a very fortunate blink there, right there, to get past Hall at the last moment. But we'll get a look at it here. We'll see what happened. Just got a bump up. Yep. Oh, that was definitely some internet issues that caused that one right there.
And we did see something else as well. That Aiden Cabarrubia, when sent to the pits due to connection issues. Paul is saying on the chat he was alt-tabbed or something like that. I'm not too sure. Right on board here with Hall to give us a better idea if he was net-coded or not.
I think partially the car behind him got net-coded too. At an invisible car, you just see right there in the advance of the wall head on. Nothing he could do, and he's just along for the ride right here. He did everything he could to lock it down.
Third caution of the race out here. Some drivers pitting in to top off on fuel. Won't put everyone to go the distance here. Something to keep in mind, but some drivers still going to play some strategy. Duckworth, Rowe, Deitch, and Brewer all staying out.
More cars pulling off pit road right there out throughout this field. So as you said, if you stayed out, so we'll get another little bit of a mix-up in the running order, but we'll get back going on green here, and hopefully they can clean this up as they get back towards the final stage.
Kovnat wins the race off pit road, followed by Myers in second, Collymore third, Schreck and Gost in fourth, Martinez Jr. in fifth. Let's talk with the driver here. Jeremy, who do you want to talk with?
Let's take up our leader here. Duckworth has been the car up front, the car to beat all night long. I think he'd be a good one to talk to here.
Let's see if we can find him.
Yes.
I don't know if he's in
he may not
voice
be in
chat
here.
on Discord, so let's see if we got Nicholas Road in here. You want to talk to Road?
Yeah, we'll take Road.
All right, I'll bring him in for you. Oh, give us one moment here. Mine is not working here. I don't know if you want to try on your end, Jeremy.
I don't believe I can move him out of that channel, it looks like.
Okay, then. Let's, technical difficulties. It's race 1. Bear with us. So, I wonder if it's because they're all in, the Cup team, their own team comms, and we don't have the right to move them, possibly. But, how about Cisneros? We're about to go 1 degree. You want to talk with Cisneros?
We'll take Cisneros up here.
All right, let's bring him in for you. This should work, and it does.
Hello.
Hey, Damien, share me up in the movie. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
So we've seen some wrecks pretty early. Right now, you're still trying to keep your car going forward while some of these guys have been wrecking themselves. Just what do you got to do to keep getting towards the end of this race here and keeping that thing in one piece?
Being in the back. Name of the game. Just have fun in the back. While everybody wrecks for meaningless laps, you just stay in the back.
Have you noticed the extra power really making any difference in how this car races compared to what we would traditionally see here?
I mean, I haven't been up the front much, but people are saying when you're at the front it's loose, so I'm assuming it's a little bit more looser than it usually is up there. But over here in the back, it's pretty normal. It's obviously a little faster than usual, but pretty tight. I like it.
Well, good luck getting towards the front a little bit later as they take themselves out, and we all look to see you in the front at the end.
Thank you.
Alrighty, there you go, Damien Cisneros. Right now, Scorn has him in 23rd when we come back to the green, but restart coming this time by with just over 50 to go. Real quick before we go green, why don't we check in with Jagger to see if he's seen anything during pit stops?
Yeah, going up and down, I saw a couple teams just trying to work out like what they're gonna do with, you know, the looseness that some teams are experiencing up the front. Trying to figure out how they can make it better so that maybe they won't be causing any crashes. They won't crash themselves. They won't crash anyone else.
I appreciate the update there, Jagger. Here's how the field looks as they come off at turn number 4. Colby Duckworth on the bottom. Brady Schreckengoss second. That's row 1. Nicholas Rowe, Nicholas Martinez Jr. row 2. Michael Deitch, Henry Kalhoff row 3. Aaron Kovnat, Travis Prather row 4. Dorian Davis and, Prather, Dorian Davis, Hector Colazzo round out the top 10. Back to the green.
An absolutely awesome launcher on the outside for Schreckengrass, but he's just not getting the help. But here comes the 48 Martinez getting to him now, so we'll see if that outside line can keep that momentum rolling forward here off of turn 2.
High side with the slight advantage for right now. Schreckengoss with that push from Martinez Jr. Duckworth stays right there. A little bit of space between the 58 of Prather, the 56 of Kalhoff. Could help the bottom side out for just a bit, but as always on iRacing, the high side, the place to be. Down the straightaways, low side, the place of the bottoms. Through wide a little further back. This is on board, I believe that is with the 58 of, with the leader. Oh, one up in the wall and one. Losing a ton of spots. That was Wilkin in the 17.
He was trying to get it back down off the wall, and had another car coming up on the inside of him there and almost made some more contact. I see some heavy right front damage on the 17 car from that. He's still dropping.
There was another car as well. I think that may have been Cisneros in the 71. If not, he faded back. Here's a look at the replay. I'm pretty sure, though, that was Wilkin. It was.
Definitely Wilkins in the fence there. He just got help there from the inside, and then car behind him just trying to avoid it got into the fence as well.
That was Prather in that 58. Wow, side by side up front for the lead. Schreckengoss, the 3 on the outside. Martinez, the 48 on the bottom.
So right now, that
No
outside line. Yep, sorry. Oh my god, they're really not pushing well for these corners right now.
We clear for Martinez on the 91 as well. Kovnat taking a test on the top. Didn't work out, but that third groove may be going to work possibly. Led by Kalhoff in that 56. Does anyone decide to go with them possibly?
They're still really squirrely there in the middle lane when they're 3 wide. A lot of these guys really struggle with handling it when it's 3x3 right now. So they're going to try to pull back down to 2x2. Only 2 cars left there on the outside, and they're going to try to find a file in line there in the back in the middle.
Yeah, still starting to get singled out here amongst the front 6. Martinez leading over Crawford, Duckworth, Rode, Page, and Thompson.
There's a move of Duckworth there to be outside. He's going to try to go get this lead back. He's been, I think, the strongest car so far here tonight, Marty.
And he's got company as well. Prather in that, can we check that road to the 90? The slingshot, push him. Out to the point, off for 2.
See just 2 cars there in the front of the inside line, still filed out. They're going to get beat. That's Duckworth back to the lead with Road there in behind him. And that's even Dietz who's now going to be able to file in as well.
Third groove also starting to be created as well with Collymore in the 39. Very risky going 2 and 3 wide. Well, let's see how this is going to work out here as we work lap 33.
Still looking to find some ways forward there in the middle. Collymore with a big push there to the 3. They got him a little sideways, but you see those cars sparking. They are dragging the racetrack right now at these high rates of speed, and they are out of control.
High side with the advantage amongst the front 4. Risky cut down though by Myers against Collymore. Tried to block, looking for the race lead.
Still on board Martinez.
Big run coming though from Martinez in this 48 here, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's sucking up hard, but right there, got Squirrely in front of him. He's going to put it to the third groove now. He'll be clear back into the middle, see what he wants to do as that run is stalling out.
All alone though. Nobody behind him or in front of him.
See, big moment there from Cisneros there entering the corner. He was really loose. See, he's not really staying to his word here, racing hard up front right now.
Everyone else in the back just playing it safe, staying singled out. See that 56 up there, third car on the outside, that being Kalhoff. Also one driver, also another driver that's filling in this evening for Corey Lyles. Duckworth thought about the move.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way around Collymore there, just can't really quite do it by yourself, so he's going to need Road to go with him. See that 5 cars there on the outside line trying to get it back going. They're coming back forward just a little bit right now with Myers leading them.
Oh, big cut up for 4th on back or so, and now Duckworth to try and get around the bottom for the lead. Help from Road behind.
Right there, still trying to get that outside wound up there for the 39 Collymore. Duckworth has his help now, Road to his back bumper, but the outside formed up better. Big momentum. They're going to be clear for Collymore. Now Myers can't quite get clear. Now he is clear. We'll see what he does.
Collymore keeping on the outside. Same with Myers. That's the plan. Look at that safer barrier. Trying to get a slight aero cushion at the same time. Oh boy, near contact between Martinez and Myers. If not, they did make contact. Here comes Kalhoff. Tries to thread the needle. 3 wide for second. This is starting to get good. Duckworth nearly with a punt to the 48.
Almost a big punt right there. Myers still out front of Martinez right now. See, looking off back. We'll see if the Kalhoff machine can get any momentum rolling there on the outside line as they try to get back formed up. It seems like that outside line can get formed up, come forward, but they just can't really stay together.
Couple of drivers with some sparks as well further back. Pressures are up to temp. Back end underbody's also dragging at the same time.
Still a lot of side-by-side there throughout this field. Myers, though, he works his way all the way up forward here. He's trying to take care of that lead. Duckworth right now pinning. Oh, contact there behind him. Myers going to block the outside line.
Hang on there, further back. That being, I believe that's DH in that 76/0 ride. That almost went for a ride down the NASCAR infield.
Oh, huge moment for Martinez.
Absolutely, sideways lead to the top side. That could have been dangerous in the 48.
These guys are absolutely out of control. That power has seemed to really put handling into play here. You gotta remember, I mean, we think of this Daytona surface as being smooth, but it has really started to wear out over the years, and iRacing keeps that up to date. This track has a lot less grip than it used to, and you know, when you add this power to this car, it makes sense that they're sliding around like they would be.
I want to bring in Jagger here as well at the same time because he's been our pit guy throughout the night. Jagger with a bunch of the drivers here in the draft. The window officially open for drivers that maybe want to go for their final stop of the day. If you're a driver right now and you're talking with some drivers in your voice chats, are you considering maybe cutting this strategy in half, pitting with over 20 to go, topping off on fuel?
Yeah, it honestly just depends on what everyone else is doing around you. If there aren't many people who are wanting to go, I wouldn't go. As a driver who has driven a lot around Daytona and really loves Daytona too, I wouldn't really go unless I have maybe 4 or 5 people who are willing to go with me, just to make sure that we have a comfortable draft strong enough that we will be able to possibly catch up to the pack or at least stay a certain delta so that we won't go a lap down.
There are a lot of drivers may have learned their lesson. They're trying to go single file, but oh boy, hang on, there goes Shrek and Goss in the 3. Oh boy, can he save it? Dealing with a bumpy infield. Up in the air goes the 3, up in the hill, and oh, he caught Bryant.
So close to everybody getting through there. I will say, what a great job in the 3 to hold on to it, but the bumps in the infield were just too much, sent the car airborne, and there was nothing he could do at that point as it came back up towards the banking.
What a save from Shrek and Goss, but Bryant got the front end of it. And that Apple Toyota Camry has malfunctioned. Look at what happened here with Shrek and Goss on board with them. 91 on the outside, that's Covenant.
A good onboard look here. You see he had plenty of space to the car in front of him. Covenant swirly right there. And he got a bad bump from behind. Yes, he did. And that sent him up into the outside lane. He was doing everything he could to hold on to it. But take a look at this ride he goes on right here.
Completely bumpy in the infield. I've hit that as well on iRacing in the past, and it is not fun. And then, man, give credit to everyone else avoiding it, but just Brian just got the front end of it with nowhere to go.
Not a thing Brian could have done differently there. Just really unfortunate. Another look here, and just, yeah, you got hit from behind, sent him up, and you just corrected it down to the infield, and right here you hit those big bumps, and you get a ton of air. Look at how violent that ride is.
Caught the grass as well at the same time, which can really freak the car out as well. That was Brian, and again, that was Jacob Bryan in the 95 that caught him. Right on board with him.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. You can see it all the way down there. Oh my God, look at the air and just...
No, he thought he had it missed. He thought he had it missed.
There's not a thing you can do. And you see that left rear, that is broken. That's why he gets sent around right here, because that's not going to drive very well when the left rear is completely disconnected from the car.
Yeah, there was a bite taken out of the apple tonight. Meanwhile, back up near the front, under 40 to go. Covenant and Collymore, door to door for the lead. 91 edging out to 39 across the start-finish line.
Team clear right now, Covenant. He's going to look at that bottom. You know, he was just involved in that incident. He was the one right on the outside, so it shows how quickly things can turn around here, side by side of a car that's, you know, for all intents and purposes out of the race, and now he's leading.
Here comes as well Cisneros of the 71. We were talking with him earlier on under the last yellow, Jeremy. Yeah, this is a guy that wanted to stay in the back. Look at this, ironic. He's up top.
Take the lead here. He has some of that nose damage too, so that'll tell you he's an aggressive pusher. He's been hitting guys pretty hard to push that nose in like that. You see the 07 here on the outside right now, trying to get up front. That may not be a lead lap car. Let me take a look here. Yeah, that is not. He is trying to get back on the lead lap right now there for Enright.
But look at further back as well. Wow, the top 7 all side by side. Look how scattered this single file line is. And they may all just be losing some time at the same time. You even have Martinez in the 48 just moving around left and right.
If the handling matters as much as it does, you got to figure the cars that are driving better would be able to start to drive away here after a while if they're not able to hold it wide open with the extra power through the corners. So that may be what we're seeing here, Marty, just some guys that aren't comfortable enough, and because of that, they aren't able to keep up.
Right now, board here with Max Ford in the 11. You can see how much he's lifting off the throttle, coasting on the straightaways. Now, again, we've talked about it earlier on in the show. When you're in the draft, you're able to save fuel and coast a little bit compared to the race leader, where Kovnat, currently in a tough situation, he's got to go full throttle to keep hold of the lead.
See that big separation right there. These guys definitely pushing harder than those behind them. You know, they have that guaranteed caution, but there is still some strategy in play to try to get to that caution with better fuel mileage and increase your track position that way.
Could be seeing this long train of 23 cars or so possibly breaking up as well. As I say, that looks like they're all in a equidistant gap apart together. 35 to go here at Daytona. Everyone going the shorter way around, hugging that double yellow line, not trying to use up too much fuel. Again, it's just going to be a one-stop race to the finish. And it's not about tires, it's all about taking fuel.
Definitely trying to shorten that stop out, but I'd be worried about not taking tires with the way the cars have been handling. But, you know, you don't want to give up that track position for a little 15 laps in at the end, so I definitely understand trying to shorten that final stop. But you see they have all closed back in, but still single file throughout the whole field.
And Collymore in the best drafting situation at the moment, as he doesn't have... He's able to lift from the leader compared to Kovnat. Oh, look at this, though. Slingshot to the outside. Collymore to the race lead. And now Kovnat forced to lift. I wonder, I don't believe that was planned. Was it or no?
I'm not sure, but definitely a big surge for Collymore. Not saving any fuel when you have a car out front, so it's just not where you want to be when it's a fuel mileage race. But you see the stint lengths right there. Duckworth from the 33, he's been out here about the longest of anybody, so there's no way he's going to hit the fuel number he's ever guys are trying to hit. But he settled in line there in 7th, so he's definitely trying to stretch it as far as he can.
That's definitely going to help out Kovnat now in 2nd. Start to lift a little bit. Check back in here with Jagger. How are things looking on the fuel side for a lot of drivers, especially Kovnat? How many laps do you think he may have lost compared to everybody else?
Yeah, it looks like for Kovnat, I feel he could have lost maybe anywhere from 2 to seriously 10 laps. It can seriously affect so much here at Daytona, especially with this with the next gen package, the way the aero is, the way the tires are, your horsepower, just the entire aspect of the next gen package.
Appreciate it, Jagger. While we were talking with Jagger as well, at the same time, Jeremy, some drivers were trying to make some moves and get side by side. I think they were trying to get the track position at the same time before pitting, possibly.
It does look like they are coming forward a little bit here on the outside. That's a pretty common trend, just, you know, moving forward at the very end of these things, trying to get that track position right before that stop. And a lot of times guys aren't going to try to stop you. And I mean, he's passing like they're standing still as they save fuel on the inside.
Here comes Ortega. Help coming from Josh Carey, that 35. Max Ford in the 11 for the race lead. Ortega's led a couple of laps earlier on here tonight. He and Carey both cut down. And it looks like there's not a lot of lifting going on or coasting. We got racing happening for the lead.
Ortega right there, all the way up to the front from a little bit further back with that move. You see they're still tandem in there, so those two are still pushing all out. I think some of them staggering through the inside are still saving fuel. Oh, Levy got really loose there with a bad push from Thompson, but they still stay hooked up there on the outside line. Ford coming forward to the front.
So now Ortega, a sitting duck now at the moment before pit stops. Carey, though, you could consider him a serious sitting duck as well because of the big push you just gave Ortega Wasn't even lifted. Oh boy, hang on, Max Ford. Right behind Davis, or right next to Davis, I should say. Ford got a huge lift off at Thompson. We got a pit stop happening. Somebody coming on the pit road. It was actually a lap car, I should say, of Joseph Enright. So forget about that. We're focused back up near the leaders. 3 wide into 1.
Thompson to the inside of Ford. Oh, man, washed up into his door just about now. He's going to find a hole down there on the bottom. That leaves just 2 cars up there on the outside line, and they are not formed up at all. And that's, a tight squeeze there by Ford to the bottom. And that's going to leave Cisneros looking for a hole, and he gets some help there. I think Prather let him in.
36 to go. We are hearing drivers are starting to come in, this time by Colby Duckworth, the signal in the chat in 14th. He is pitting in the 33. Now he's got to have some help or else he'll lose this race without question. Does anyone go with Mr. Duckworth? Yes, somebody else, 2 other drivers will. That's Road and DH. Remember the pit road speed. Big lock up. DH goes in. Check that road goes around as he kisses the inside wall.
Road's still going to be trying to get it back forward, straight there in the back. I think he had one of the earlier pit stalls too, so this is going to be huge time loss for him. You see some of the nose damage around Duckworth's machine, so he's going to be struggling with that the rest of the night. Also, 4 tires, it looks, no, just 2, yeah, there it is, 4 tires for Duckworth, that's the call.
Road got a penalty as well for speeding. Checked in with Jagger here on the stop for Duckworth.
Yeah, Duckworth is going to have to definitely take some damage repair there, as we just saw he did. And definitely going to need to be taking some tires, as he did lock them up, spin them around, tire wear. Not too crazy here at Daytona. Tires aren't too important unless you do have a spin or multiple spins causing your tires to get flat spotted or just really worn out.
Now this is going to get interesting here as well, Jeremy. The leaders are starting to approach lap traffic.
Yeah, the increase.
First driver for Ortega is going to be Enright in the 07, who just pitted moments ago. And then the 2 of the 3 drivers that just pitted.
Yeah, the increased horsepower here has led to some different pit splits than we maybe used to seeing at Daytona. So these leaders catching the cars that pit a lot quicker than normal because of that. You see that car right there on the outside, it's about to get lapped. That's Duckworth. That almost never happens on a green flag stop here this quickly.
They're gonna have to thread the needle here if they want to get past the 3 drivers, but Ortega gonna be patient. I like that decision. Stay patient. Get them all to work together, and we're hearing a lot more drivers are signaling they're gonna pit together, especially in the back. There was 20 drivers that are in this lead pack. It's the second group that's going to be pitting in just a moment. Zarate, Ibanez. We'll see if anybody else pits in turns 3 and 4. And this entire second pack is pitting right now at the moment. Road, meanwhile, letting the front runners go past.
Still single file here. We'll see how many pull off here, Marty, on the front stretch. See if they get through cleaner than Road did, too.
Back of the lead pack pitting. Martinez, Wilkin, Myers, Helms, a lockup from Wilkin. Wilkin hanging on the 17, around he goes.
And Wilkin was not even close to hitting pit road speed. They're way more aggressive than he ever even needed to think about being. That's going to cost him dearly.
Oh, we got a wreck, by the way. Nope, I heard in the chat somebody was wrecking. I think it may have been Wilkin. Nope, there was a wreck. It was Schreckengost and the 3 that went around at pit exit. No caution, we stay green. And this all started with a lot of netco. Look at the damage to Schreckengost and the 3.
Yeah, that's the damage from earlier, Marty, when he went flying through the infield. I'm not sure what happened to him here when he was leaving pit road, though. Right now, though, you get a live look up front. That's our leader.
Oh, 56 goes around. Another lockup. That's Kalhoff right into the 58 as well at the same time.
Oh, what is he doing?
Oh, backs up and nearly clips Lopez, the 19. But a one of the field pitting at the moment. Let's go over to Jagger. What's happening?
Yeah, it's been a lot of chaos here tonight. We've had a lot of spins, a lot of lockups. A lot of just chaos. A lot of front bumper damage from either A, pushing too hard, or B, locking it up and hitting a wall going into pitting, especially what we've seen so far recently.
So now 3 drivers have yet to pit. Ortega, Carey, or Davis. They're in a tough spot right now at the moment as well, Jeremy, because they're stuck on the outside with this lead pack. They got to get to the bottom before they pit.
Yeah, we've seen this. Ortega's been just in line in the middle of the pack the entire time here, despite leading just with those cars right out the front of his nose and the tail end of the lap ahead of him. So Right now, they're single filing out again for the 32 of Ortega. You see, still has some help up there. Carey and Davis, those two as well, have not pit yet. Those are the only two leaders in the picture. Look at that, even more cars gonna be lining up here. This is gonna be difficult for Ortega if they cycling like through like this.
Oh boy, that got nasty for Ortega for just a moment. Tried to cut up in front of the 00, but Ortega's down on the bottom. Same with Carey, waiting on Davis. He's lost the top two. Now he's on the bottom. Would have to expect them to pit this time by. And the top two, top three will. Now Wyatt Thompson is entering turn 1 right now with Max Ford.
Carey lost it. Carey spun on pit road as well. These guys just cannot get on the pit road clean.
Kind of makes you wonder as well at the same time if they have the pit road entry, that little apron area, that access road, has got a lot of marbles on it. Do you think is that an issue or no?
I honestly think it's more likely that the increased power, just that slightly difference, like you're going a little bit faster than you're used to here. I think people are just missing their marks because we're so used to braking in the same spot always here. So that little bit can change up the way these cars react and your timing on things quite a bit. As you'll see, Ortega though has absolutely no help. He beat everybody off pit road in his group, and that's not what he wanted.
Bunch of drivers taking fuel to the max. Some drivers 2 tires at the same time. Thompson entering turn number 1. A bump draft. Ortega caught the 99 of Zarate. No caution flag for right now. Holds the brakes. Ortega's got the lead for now, but all the power belongs to Thompson and Ford.
Ortega is coming off pit road, and some lap cars wrecked themselves on his outside. We'll take a look at the Precision Speed Solutions replay here, Marty. See exactly what happened to Alex Ortega.
New leader real quick is Wyatt Thompson, but here's a look at what happened on that replay. The 79 catches the 99 sideways. That's Bunkley. I tell you what a save at first, though, by Zarate. Then gets a little assist from Ortega. And I didn't see any damage, though, off the 32.
Yeah, he did a good job. Not every day you have to dodge a wreck while you're exiting pit road, so all things considered, great job by him. But if you take a look at our leaderboard here when we cut back to the action, we have a group of 3 that have separated themselves from the rest of the field.
So here's the situation we have. It's Max Ford, Alex Ortega, and Wyatt Thompson. Then 1.4 seconds behind them in 4th on back. This is the Peloton pack at the moment. Jim Schroer in the 10, followed by Lopez in the 19, Echevarria in the 23. That's the top 6. There are, if I'm doing my mental math here correctly, there are about 13 drivers here in this pack.
Yeah, a lot of them lined up there. I think some lap cars mixing as well. You see at 79 who was involved in that incident when they were leaving pit road, getting lapped again here by our leaders, Max Ford. You see there's a lap car between Ford and Ortega right now, which could play a role in who wins the second stage, as that gives the 11 just a little bit of a buffer to protect.
That pack from 4th on back is catching the top 3 by 2 seconds a lap with a lot more people in that, and it really does help them out in the draft. Max Ford leading, and now here comes the run by that second pack. Schroer, who we've yet to talk about in this race, up to second after starting back in 28, nearly scrapes the wall. And now here we go. The race is starting with 20 to go.
Really good block there by Ford. You see that 3 behind him. That's still that lap car. One looking below the double yellow line. Huge surge on the outside here. He's not going to block it this time.
Yeah, Schroer. Actually, check that. Lopez losing a lot of real estate. Drops down to 13th. Ford on the bottom. Schroer on the outside. A pair of Toyotas going at it for the race lead here in the clash at Daytona.
Ford just hanging in there on the inside. You see Ortega there up pushing on the outside line. They're going to both clear now. We'll see what Martinez can do as well. Where's the 32 going to go? Is he going to continue pushing, or is he going to make the move for the lead? They're both clear up front. The 48 is as well now, but look at the 91 of Cobb not by himself making that 3rd line.
No help. How's this going to work off for turn 2? Nobody wants to go with them. Slots in line. Get some help there thanks to 39 of Collymore. Now, I don't think we're going to see that 3rd groove get tested out until we get to like about maybe 10 laps to go or under.
saw it working a little bit earlier and they kept wrecking, so I would agree we're probably going to try to keep that in check until it's money time. And right now, though, they're racing pretty hard up front. Martinez in the 48, he's found himself to the lead. Look at that, Finnegan Myers and Double Zero's back in the picture as well. And there's Helms in the 7.
Helms after being involved in the first caution of the race. Trouble off for turn 2. Meanwhile, we had Juniper Brewer spin. That was, though, on the apron of the super stretch. Staying green. Bunch of drivers coming up. Ortega, one of them in the 32. Last season's Clash winner. There has not been a repeat winner of the Clash at all in the history of the Universal iRacing Series.
Not to the front now with a good push from Collymore. You see Thompson pushing as well. Collymore looking at that left rear. Oh, he didn't make the move. Almost turned the 91, though. He's still going to push him here down the front straightaway. We'll see if anyone makes the move. Inside line is gone.
Kovnat out to the point with 17 laps to go. Is anyone amongst the top 5 slingshot to the bottom? First guy on the bottom is Martinez. Huge push from Myers. Trying to get to the race. A huge cut, though, by Collymore. They nearly go around. But it may have helped out Collymore at the same time. Oh, no, there they go. Collymore goes around. And somehow, everybody missed him.
Martinez cut Collymore a break when he made the bad block, but off of turn 4, he turns the 39 around. Huge hit for Kai Collymore, but nobody else collected in that incident. This yellow should end our stage.
Absolutely absurd that nobody else caught the 39. Great driving by everybody in that pack. They all should be proud of that. Collymore obviously not too happy, and same with another driver. That being the 48 of Martinez.
I mean, Collymore made a bad block, and Martinez cut him a break, but by that point, they were already settled out, and they were on each other, and then Martinez just made a bad push off the exit of the corner and sent that 39 around.
A little beef happening in the iRacing chat, some things that kind of can't say. Again, quick repairs can be used if you have one. This is the onboard with Collymore.
See that 48 off the rear with the big look right there. That is a bad block by Collymore. But right here, they're settled in. Martinez is pushing him square, and Martinez just moves to the right on his own volition right there and gives a bad push and turns him. That is definitely on the 48.
See what race control says about that as they're reviewing it. That's definitely a heavy impact for Collymore, and now we see some strategy here with 15 laps to go. Who pits, who stays out? Ortega, last season's Clash winner, to pit. Palazzo also makes his way down pit road to pass Clash winner at the road course of Daytona. Duckworth, Carey, obviously Collymore all pitting here as well at the same time. So, new leader obviously in this one. It's Nicholas Martinez Jr. Followed by Kovnat and Thompson. The top 3. They wrap up their pit stops. Smith winning the race off pit road. Colazzo second. Carey, Trevino, and Cisneros. That is the top 5. We'll step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, it's the witching hour. Stay with us. It's the Clash of Daytona on Precision Entertainment. One lap till we get the green flag here at Daytona as we are inside. 15 laps to go here in our UIS Cup Series clash. Nicholas Martinez, the race leader, over Aaron Kovnat, as 24 drivers remain on the lead lap, and no question, definitely have a chance to win it. Just coming off, I believe, our 4th yellow, if not 5th, of this race. A reminder, we are off next week as Speed Weeks will continue with Daytona 500 qualifying, but we're back in 2 weeks from now with the duels, 9 p.m. May 2nd, right here on your home for the UIS Cup Series, Precision Entertainment. Check back in here with Jagger Finley. Jagger, we're inside the final 15 laps. We're going to let you play a little Larry McReynolds. What are the trends?
Yeah, so in the past 9 races here, there have been 6 different winners. And of those most recent 5 races, 3 of them have ended in overtime. Now, 6 of the last 10 super speedways have had this, stat. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens here. How will it end? What teams are going to do with their fuel-wise. If they want to save just a tiny bit, make sure they can have enough for an overtime or 2 attempts, maybe even 3 if they keep on wrecking. And who will be this winner? Will it be a repeat winner or will it be someone brand new?
Munson repeat winner in the field. Trevino restarting in row 8, 15th. Ready for the restart though. This is gonna get good to the end. The gloves are off. 13 to go when we cross the start-finish line. Martinez, Kovnat, Thompson, Helms, and Myers. That is the top 5. Green flag.
Not a good launch from Kovnat there on the outside. Martinez a little bit too far out in front of Thompson, though. He's going to try to shade to the outside line here. Back to the bottom. He's just trying to feel out which line has the momentum rolling forward. Still nobody to his back bumper.
Martinez with some gap on Thompson. Second groove starting to dissipate for a bit, lose some steam, but Kovnat's got a little bit of a friend behind him in Helms in the 7. And again, no points on the line, but the winner, $15. Definitely help towards some setups or so, or some extra cars or tracks to buy off iRacing. But here comes Kovnat. The FTN 91 trying to put her up front, but it's still Kovnat. So we check that Martinez by a nose.
Still looking to see anywhere in the field if somebody's going to be brave and be the first to venture to that outside line. But the 91 of Kovnat right now in control on the outside. You see Helms, Ford, and Echeverria right lined up behind him right now. The first 4 on the outside lane. Martinez still at the help of Thompson there on the bottom.
One driver backing out to play it safe than sorry. We saw one earlier on in this race. It was our first caution when Helms got spun. It was the big one. When's it coming this time? What lap are you predicting here, Jeremy?
Oh, but I can tell you it's starting to cook itself up already in the middle of the pack. Ortega made a nice move to the middle, got down there and trying to, once again, he's making a move in the middle. He's hanging these guys out. They're leaving a little bit too much space on the inside. He's getting there. So right now we're on board with the 76 of DH on the inside.
A unique in-car that he is showing us this evening. DH currently running in 11th, starting back in 33rd. New leader, Tyler Helms in the 7. The help from Ford in the 11. How about the 23, Echeverria? Haven't talked about him yet in this race. Started back in the 14th spot. Running in 5th. Coming to 10 laps to go with the World Center of Racing. Helms cuts down to the baby bottom. 3x3x3 from 9th on back.
I'll tell you, Cisneros has been moving through this field. He got that outside go after he got hung out by the 32 of Ortega. Ortega, meanwhile, got stuck in the middle of the pack. You see right now, though, Carey leading the outside lane. He's not quite running it exactly how you should. There we go. He got better now. You got to be as low as you can when you're running that third line. When you run all the way up there against the wall, not only does it slow you down, you're also not side drafting those cars that you're inside. We got another car moving the outside. That's Ford in the 11.
Stuck back in 7th. Oh, a lot of drivers up on the wall for a moment. That was Ortega on the 35, all jockeying left and right, trying to find the momentum off for turn number 4. Top 7 or 8 all single file until Thompson tries to make a run into 9 laps to go at Daytona. And this field is separated a little bit here. Helms over Martinez, over Myers, that's the top 3. Big cut down from Myers for a moment, but Martinez slams the door.
Yeah, a handful of guys had some struggles with their handling there, got the field all mixed up. Cisneros now to the back bumper of Ortega on the middle lane. They're coming forward with a lot of momentum, those two. They have been the fastest two to cut up through the field from the back on this restart.
Myers looking high. Martinez says, nah, stacks up Ortega in the 32. Same with Cisneros in the 71.
Martinez.
Trouble from the
big
back.
wreck.
The 91 goes around. Collects another, that's the 19. Duckworth also
in it as well.
involved. But Kovnat the first to spin as he collects Lopez. Yellow lights are on with 9 laps to go. There's the in-car with Kovnat.
Definitely see some displeasure on his face, understandably so, but he was looking so strong up front for much of the night, as well as Duckworth. Those two both involved in this wreck, and they're not going to have really any time to recover.
And this should put us with about 5 to go on the restart. And it started as well with that 24 Echevarria.
Yeah. Oh, then that was the 07 way down on the inside too, missing that one. Get another look at it here. You see Kovnat just there on the outside. Let's take another look here. Yeah, 19 got turned behind him. Oh, he got net coated. That's really unfortunate for Kovnat.
Internet strikes again.
You see, 19 just got turned behind him, and yeah, that is
absolutely. That's none of Echevarria's business right there.
No, that's really unfortunate for Kovnat. He did nothing wrong there, and the sim racing gods had it out for him on that one.
Yeah, when Kovnat sees the replay, whether it be the broadcast or the iRacing file, the RPY file, he'll definitely understand what happened there. A couple of drivers pitting. Actually, one driver pitting, I should say. Max Ford in the 11. Schreckengoss now pits behind him. Same with Collymore. Just amongst the drivers on the lead lap.
See here what they do. Ford looks like just taking some damage repairs. You see the jack up on a car in the back there. See, left sides will probably go up as well. Logic. Kovnat taking some tires too. I will say Kovnat not too much damage, so he'll put some fresh tires on it and see what happens for him.
Jagger, let's check in with you. What are you seeing right now amongst pit stops and then hearing stuff on the radio as well?
Yeah, definitely a lot of, chaos coming down, as I said earlier, what I thought would happen maybe closer towards the end. A lot of drivers having to get some damage fixed, especially Aaron Kovnat. Excuse me if I'm saying his last name wrong. So definitely going to be getting as much as they can get fixed, make sure that front end's perfectly fine so that they can definitely get, split through that air nice and clean, make sure that they're going to have good air, not going to be dragging back, and, hope to get for a win.
So should be 5 to go on this restart. Got a question here that I'll ask you, Jeremy, that our producer DJ Lyon kind of just put it in our little chat here. The horsepower that we've seen tonight up to 737, even on a super speedway like Daytona, could it possibly hurt tires on a track like Daytona or not really?
The handling definitely has played a factor tonight. I don't know how much it's hurting the tires as much as it's just making the little bit less grip that they have more exaggerated with the more power. So with that logic, the tires would still help, but I still think you're going to handle poorly either way if the power is what's causing the poor handling.
All right, they are choosing right now here. See where everybody goes. Martinez to the outside. Same with Myers. Who's going to be the first one on the bottom? Ortega, second. Looking to become a 2-time winner of the Clash.
And he cut his way up through that field really well, so he's definitely shown that he's going to be a strong contender here. We saw him towards the later half of that stage as well, really being one of the dominant cars. So we'll see what he can do for himself here.
Things to keep in mind here, Martinez restarting first to the outside. Yet to win on a super speedway in the next-gen era of UIS. 5 starts, no wins, but 3 top 5s. And why we got as well, Finnegan Myers. He's got to win in the next gen of super speedway. 4 top 5s and 5 top. We checked out 2 wins on super speedways, I should say, with 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s.
Those
A couple of the notable
stats.
Yeah, a couple of the notable contenders we have here as we get ready. 5 laps remaining. 12.5 miles to determine the winner of the first race of Season 7 of the UIS Precision Cup Series. Ortega and Martinez, row 1. Myers, Thompson, row 2. Helms, Cisneros, row 3. Carey, Dietz, row 4. Kalhoff and Harvey round out the top 10. Barney set to wave the green flag. Possibly for the final time tonight, who knows? 5 laps to go at Daytona.
See the inside line, nothing going for it at all. Ortega looking already to try to get up in the outside lane. Not really going to have a hole there. Myers, Martinez have separated themselves from Helms there in 3rd.
Top 3 single file into 1 and 2. Ortega, Thompson racing for 4th. Now it's for 5th. Carey starting to lose some space. Late shot to the outside by Ortega. Looking for 3rd. Touches with Helms. The 7 maybe in the circle. Big block from Martinez. Here we go. Around goes Ortega. We're one of them up in turn number 3. This is the big one.
That was a bad block there by Martinez, and it put Ortega in the wall, which shot him down into the car underneath him, and you can see the result of that.
And that should possibly put us into overtime for the 4th time in the last 6 races. It's all started from the front of the field. On board with Davis. Just a lot of drivers just coming in there way too fast, and Davis was the one who lost the hood.
Not really anywhere he could have went there. Probably could have woed it down and had less contact, but I think that was going to be race ending for him no matter what he did.
And we are hearing EOL on the 48, I believe, the race leader.
Yeah, I think we saw that coming there, Marty. It was just not a good block, and it did lead to the wreck that happened there. With the way they've been called tonight, I don't think that's surprising.
Look at this block here. Caught the wall there first. Sent the 32 sideways. And then look at all these drivers. That's just what Daytona does to you in the 31 degrees of banking. It can start low, go all the way up to the outside, and then gravity just sends you back to the bottom.
See what that penalty does here, though, is it shakes up the front of our field, Marty. So as Martinez is dropping, it does give us a new leader in the 00, Finnegan Myers. But we take another look at this replay on board with Max Ford. He was so strong tonight. He was on pit road under that last yellow, which put him back here. And you'll see what happened to him in this wreck.
Trying, yeah, car just come up right in front of him. That was Schroer in the 10.
Trying to get back going there. He's just beached on the bankings, gonna roll that back down and get back forward. But unfortunate there for so many drivers that have had good nights and just caught up in that one. Ortega obviously not gonna be able to defend that clash win after the incident there. Jack back up on the 11 car. Oh, he had saved that fast repair. He's still gonna be going.
Yeah. Fun fact as well, this is the only race of the year that does have one quick repair. Every other race this season will have none. So lights are still on with 3 laps to go. So this should put us into overtime. Unlimited overtimes here. Let's see who we can bring in that's near the front of the field. Let's bring in. We already talked with Cisneros earlier. Let's see if Helms maybe is here with us. We do have Tyler Helms as well. We can bring him in as he's currently running in we're in the 4th position. Tyler, it's Marty up here. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Tyler. A long night for you. Start off with a spin, the first caution flag. Now you're up here in the 4th position. Just dodged a big bullet. How you feeling going on into this overtime restart?
I feel great. You got my teammate Finnegan Myers. We work great together, and we're gonna try to do what we can. It sucks. Martinez got screwed out of it. EOL for causing that wreck apparently. So we feel good. We're gonna do what we need to do. Hopefully we can go get Sky High a victory here.
How do you what's the game plan now going to overtime? Have things changed now with it being basically a 2-lap shootout?
Yeah, I think it is. We weren't taking every run that we were getting. I think we're gonna start to take every run that we absolutely get, and it's gonna be hard to even have to think about checking up for somebody. Just see the gaps, you gotta go for it and hope it works at this point. Top's been very, very good, and we're just gonna, hopefully we can get a late push at the end and get us to the lead here.
All right, we'll let you go real quick. Which race voice chat are you on?
Sky High Racing.
All right, I'll see if we can move you back in there. Good luck, all right?
I think it.
All right, there we go. We got Tyler back in. Alrighty, we are going into overtime. Unlimited overtimes. If you don't know how it works here on iRacing, if the yellow comes out before the white flag, we'll do it again. Just got to get to the white flag. If we get to the white flag, we will go to the checker. There will be no more cautions in this race. So it sounds like that Finnegan Myers and Tyler Helms may have a plan in place, and that could possibly help out that Sky High Racing team.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. It's always good to have friends at a place like this, but sometimes having friends can be the detriment of you. I can't tell you how many times I've made the decision to help somebody, and I knew it was the wrong decision to help my race, and I hate being tied at the hip to somebody at one of these places. I think the guys that stay tied to somebody's hip are the guys who aren't successful, so I think you got to be selfish here.
They restart both on the outside. Thompson separates both of them. On the bottom, meanwhile, it says Cisneros that will bring the field back to the green. Josh Carey inside row number 2. And Michael Dietz rounds out the top 5. Pace car is in. And we are extended a caution. This is not, we will not go green. Race control had to extend this by an extra lap. There is some jockeying going on in the back of the field so drivers could get into appropriate spots. Drivers were trying to avoid a penalty. And so we will wait here.
Gonna have to slow down and let that pace car by, and they're gonna try to rack it back up and go again this time by. As we'll take another look at the beautiful Daytona International Speedway here, Marty. Just been a good race so far. Solid back and forth action. A little bit of start and stop here at the end. Hopefully we can get a good clean finish in.
We've been talking a lot about 3 wide as well tonight. Who do you think makes the first move to try and go all the way up next to that safer barrier?
I mean, I think Ortega in the back is going to be up there as quick as he can since he's got that car clean, but a little bit further up, I think we're going to see like maybe Dietz or Harvey try to make that move and just see what that goes for those guys.
Jagger, I'll ask you, who do you think makes it 3 wide?
Yeah, if you make it 3 wide, it'd definitely be risky. I feel, personally I'm a very aggressive driver. I have taken it 3 wide You know, honestly, I'll admit it, not the safest option, but I have taken a 3 wide on lap 5 before. Now, if you're in the contention to win here, I think it is best to take a 3 wide. If you're maybe, you know, in 20th, maybe, or whatever, I would recommend maybe just keeping it where you are, keeping it single file, hoping people crash in front of you, and you can just get through it perfectly fine and get as many as you can.
I'm gonna say Kovnat. He restarts outside row 6 and 12th. I wouldn't be surprised if he took a risk. He's been looking on the high side a lot tonight. Myers and Cisneros. Front row. Green, white, checkered. If a yellow comes out before the white, we'll stack them up again. If we get to the white, we'll head to the checkers. Back to the green, and not a good restart. By the inside line, Cisneros and Carey decides to go where the momentum is.
You see, we're going to file right back down to the inside together here. Definitely organized here. Carey in the 35 back there with Kalhoff pushing on him. They're trying to get formed up and get that outside going forward, but they're just not going to be able to do it. So Carey jumps down to the bottom in 4th.
Who makes the first move on the outside, possibly? And he slingshots. Helms decides to go. And Myers comes up. That's what we expected from what Myers said, from what Helms said on the radio. Heavy damage by the 2 of Toms on the bottom. That's going to stack up the low side. Oh, Carey tries to thread the needle. They reckon the 2 car spins to the inside. No caution. The 10 car also around. We've taken the white flag. We're on the final lap.
Still crashing behind him, 3 wide. You see Ortega's the first car there, too far back though. It's not going to be relevant. Up front, Myers still holds off his teammate Helms. Carey there. Helms got shuffled. Carey to second. That's not a teammate for Myers. There is a real threat for the win here.
They're squeezed up in the wall off at turn number 2. Helms has no help behind him. Now he does with Kovnat. They're all jockeying on the bottom side. Left, right, all around, but it's still Myers with the lead to turn number 3. Ortega threads the needle. Big push coming from him to Helms. It's Helms. It's Myers. It's the teammates. They all crash in turn number 4. Ortega gets sideways. Save with a 0-0. Who's the leader at the end? Someone's blanking left and right all around. They come to the checkers. I think it was Ortega at the end. Our scoring says Helms, but he was blanking all around at the end.
Helms completely disappeared at the end there. Through the cameras for a loop. Ortega right now is scored as, there it is. Helms has been updated into the lead. Unfortunately, it came to an end like that. Not able to see the car you're racing for the win for Ortega, but I don't know if it would have mattered.
Scoring has Helms by a 1/10 of a second. There was a lot of blanking in and out there. Just on my end at the end. But Tyler Helms takes the win of the clash over Alex Ortega, and give credit to Ortega with that big shove he gave to Helms at the end. As they battle to the checkers, Helms, Ortega, Zarate, the top 3. And that, my friends, is the product of Daytona. And if you liked what you saw, tune in to 2 and 3 weeks from now. We've got the duels in 2 weeks. We've got the 500 to end off speed weeks. This is going to be a fun month of April turning to May. I just saw this as well in the chat, Jeremy. Wow. Helms smokes it up here across the tri-oval. They were just about 12 wide somehow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy at the end there, and they were kind of beating and banging. I don't think anybody really had any clue what they were doing, and we'll let Helms celebrate that victory. He blink out again there as he's burning it down, but yeah, it's appropriate. He blinked out to win the race, so he'll blink out while he's burning down the tires too.
So the Precision Speed Solutions number 7 lights it up. While he does, we'll step aside and take a break. Talking with him and the rest of the top 3 in just a moment. Post-race coverage of the Clash coming up next on Precision Entertainment. We are back here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, as the clash is wrapped up. Tyler Helms has taken the checkered flag and 15 extra bucks going his way. We'll take a look at the official. We'll take a look at the unofficial results here in just a moment, as we had 21 drivers finish on the lead lap. But Jeremy, as we wait for the results to pop up, that was a wild finish to the end. It was just like, you just didn't know what was going to happen or who was the winner at the end.
There's so much chaos going on. The Sevens internet couldn't quite handle what was happening behind him and blinked out, but he did cross the line first. I don't think it was relevant to the finish. Unfortunate for Ortega, as he saw that nobody in front of him, but you got the finish here, Marty.
So Helms the winner by a 10th, Alex Ortega second, Christian Zarate in third, Riley Ibanez in fourth, Michael Dietz in fifth, Jose Lopez in sixth, Max Ford finishes in seventh, Chase Smith, the eighth place finisher, Carmelo Echevarria in ninth, and Calvin Harvey rounds out the top 10.
Al Hall, first car to miss out in top 10 here tonight. In 11th, Hector Colazzo there in 12th, Carey there in 13th. He was one that was close to being in contention for the win at the end. You see Kai Collingwood there in 14th. He had some incidents throughout the night. Damian Cisneros, we talked to him earlier. He came home 15th. Kovnat 16th. Myers, Grannon, Thompson, and Prather round out the top 20.
21st belongs to Kendorian Davis, last car on the lead lap. Brady Schreckengost in 22nd, Zachary Trevino in 23rd, Kobe Duckworth 24th, Nicholas Martinez 25th, Nicholas Rowe 26th, Aiden Cabarrubia in 27th, Trenton Wilk in 28th, Asher Bunkley 29th, and Juniper Brewer in 30th.
Yeah, first cars to finish outside of that top 30. You see Bryant 4 laps down, Enright 8 laps down. Then Hall, Brown had some issues, and obviously George was not in the race.
Well, we'll start by talking with your race winner here, Tyler Helms. Well, Tyler, I think you'll probably be the only one to give us your perspective on this, as holy smoke. So that was a finish there at the end. First off, what was happening from your perspective? I know Ortega gave you a huge push. Were you side by side with him? Were you completely in front of him? What was going on there?
So he gave me the push, and then off of the corner, I had everybody cleared. It was me, and then him and Finnegan were right behind me, and Ortega was gonna send it. Looked like he was gonna go in between us and go 3 wide. I was gonna try to drop down into front of Finn and let him push me to the win, and then they got into each other. So. I mean, it sucks that I blanked out too, because I probably ruined a really, really good finish on the broadcast end. But I've seen everything. Which was kind of shocking. I didn't think I was blinking, because I could see everybody. I could see, everybody around me and all that. And all I saw was coming off turn 4, Tay gave me the push, and I was clear of him. And him and Finn wrecked each other, and killed the momentum. And I mean, that was it from there.
Well, regardless of that, you guys wanted to get a Sky High racing car in victory lane tonight, whether it be you, whether it be Myers, or heck, even Martinez earlier on. And hey, the strategy worked the way it had to, but that's just with the racing we saw in the final 10, 15 laps. That's just, I said it's a normal product of Daytona racing. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. You want to work with your teammates as long, and this, like, you don't ever want to leave your teammates. And that's what I was debating on the entire race about, like, if we get to the end, I feel like I've always put my teammates first at super speedways, and I'm always too scared to leave them out to dry and all that. And I finally was able to, just say screw it and got to do what you got to do to put yourself in a good position to win the race, and can't just sit behind your teammates and try to make the move at the absolute last second. And I knew all of us were going to do the exact same thing if we came to the situation. We never officially said it, but we've kind of come up with this agreement of, work with each other as long as possible. But if you see an opportunity or something that could better your chances of winning, go for it. And, we saw that here today.
How do you take this forward now in the next couple of weeks, knowing you got a win in your back pocket? This was also basically as well an extra practice session too.
Yeah, we were really using this to see how the horsepower was going to handle with the adding more horsepower to the setup and how the runs were going to move and how, everything was going to handle long run, fuel saving. Fuel saving's really not much. Felt, honestly, this is so much better at the big tracks than the normal horsepower. It was hard to fuel save until we got fully single file and the leaders were going like half throttle, and it felt really good. And we're going to try to carry this momentum. We had Final Four appearance last season and it didn't go our way. Still got second, but I had by far the slowest car out of, all the guys in the Final Four, and finally got my first 2 wins last season. And after 3 full-time seasons in Cup, coming off a truck championship as well, we got qualifying for the trucks on Monday. Gonna have to try to carry the momentum into there, and Cup qualifying next Saturday. See if we can, just keep up what we've been doing as of recently. Even going back to last season, we've been really, really strong, except for a couple races late. Just going to try to keep the momentum going. Got a chase format now, so I'm pretty sure winner got $15 this race, so we'll take that as well, and just move on to the next race at Daytona Monday and Saturday.
That is correct. Who do I give shout outs to before I let you go?
I just got to shout out everybody on my team, Finnegan Myers, Nicholas Martinez Jr., and Trent Wilkin. We worked together so well all season last year, and the amount of practice and teamwork we put in with practice is better than any other team in the field. And we're coming off that team championship as well. We're looking to repeat that here today. Got to thank you guys for broadcasting, and Chase George for being our great team owner, and putting all this together and putting the money up, and Precision Speed Solutions, best setups on iRacing. If, you want to go get some good setups, precisionsetup.gg, and use code TH10 at checkout.
All right, we'll let you go, Tyler. Congrats on the win, and all the best of luck the next couple weeks in Speed Weeks.
Yep, thank you.
So there goes Tyler Helms, your race winner. Coming so close, but man, give him credit for the push he gave to Tyler Helms. Alex Ortega finishing runner-up. He's with Jeremy.
Well, Alex, we saw you up and down through the field. I think you restarted outside the top 20 there on the final restart and put yourself in position to win the race. Probably should have won the race, but just had some things go just wrong at the very end there. What do you think you needed to do to change that result?
It's hard to say, truthfully, because I'm restarting 22nd, anywhere is going to be hard. And I wasn't expecting to really have a chance. I was going to just try and recover to a top 15, maybe top 10 at the absolute best. But we just got a bunch of really, really good runs there and just kept on cutting through the traffic. And, there on the last lap, all of a sudden we have a huge run and we're pushing the leader of the outside lane. And I made the move I thought would win me the race, and Finnegan Myers was coming way up the track, I guess, to try and either side draft or hook Tyler. I don't know what really he was trying to do. There wasn't, but once he lost his help, his chance at the win was really just gone. And so I made the move to the middle as soon as it opened up, and as I did that, Finnegan was coming up, and then we made really big contact, and so I had to save the car and lost my momentum. And then Tyler, that was a terrible feeling, because I look up, and once I saved the car, I look up and no one's in front of me. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I really just win this race? And it takes updates and puts Tyler in the lead. It's like, damn. But we made all the right moves, and just I think I did everything right. There's just unfortunately some of those that we were racing around kind of limited what we could do, and you can't control that. So I feel like I controlled everything I could control, going from the back to the top 5 twice in the final 10 laps, so just did what we had to do, and I think got some pretty good practice for the Daytona race here, the first race of the season, in a week or two.
Yeah, definitely some good reps there. And you mentioned not, really for you tonight over everyone else.
I'm not sure, truthfully. The next gen's always been a car I enjoy, and it's what I run the most out of all three, all of the main NASCAR series on officials and leagues and whatever. But I guess there's something I just have kind of figured out with being able to cut through the field and making lanes work, even when it's in a really tight position. Even my Daytona 500 attempt earlier in the year, back in February, I did the same kind of thing where I think it was with 2 to go. I was in 19th, and on the last lap, I was making a move for the win. And so it's hard to say what I do different, because I'm truthfully, I'm not completely sure. I think a lot of it was just some lucky breaks there on the last lap. and just kind of making the right moves, and you kind of have to predict where the momentum's going to go, and some people are just, I guess, a little better at that than others. And that's just an experience thing, I think.
It definitely showed why you've had the success that you've had here in the past, but who all gets it done in that 32 moving forward and is going to help you out throughout this season?
Yeah. Shout out to Joshua, Terry, the 35 car. He's not a teammate, but a good friend of mine. Sucks he got wrecked there. He himself was in a position to win, I think, and he just got, it's the next gen. They're so dragged back, and so he got stacked up, got spun around. Just unfortunate for him. Shout out to my friends, family, and to all those who make this possible.
Well, congratulations on another strong run. We look forward to seeing more of you going forward.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, that was Alexander Ortega in the 32 Marty, and I think we have Christian Zarate coming up next.
Yes, absolutely. Christian, running out the bottom step of the podium. First off, what did you see in those in that final lap?
I would suggest you show the viewers actually my final lap, and I can take it. I can run it through with you guys if you want. I mean, it was just absurd. It came into the white flag, I think P15, and coming to turn 3, I was P14, and then all of a sudden I'm third place. Yeah, it was crazy day for the 99 Cash Culp racing crew. But in the end, I'm really happy about where we finished. This is good momentum for the upcoming couple of months here.
All right, I think we have it right here. We're loading up the replay. Take us through this. I don't know if it's going to be real time or slow-mo, but just take us through this. What you're seeing here in this race car.
Yeah, so it's coming into turn 1. You know, I was all right. It's
Yeah, gotta keep going, Christian.
Yeah, there we go. Coming to the white flag. Where is this? I'll come to the green flag. Okay, I'm completely lost. Green flag, got a decent jump. It's just these cars just got so gridlocked, man, and it's so unfortunate. I thought right here, I saw the outside lane just check up a tiny bit. I was like, oh yeah, inside run is gonna be great here, and then we just gridlocked, and I think that kind of decided the race, in my opinion. Honestly, for me at that point, I was kind of just locked in. I wanted to get to the outside. I didn't want to strand my teammate. I wanted to get to the outside as fast as I could. As we got up to speed here. Yeah, just gridlock, checkups. It made me mad, made me very frustrated because I knew I had a chance at winning. I had to get lucky with an opening, but it didn't come to me. But coming to the white flag lap, I was just kind of hoping for a P10, top 10 would be nice. I mean, I was a lap down the caution before this, so top 10 would be nice. See Damien get into an incident over here. So there's 2 positions. Yeah, it should be P14 now. I see a car with a huge run outside, back down to P15 here. Side draft a little bit, get back down low. I see they're kind of stacking up on the outside, so I thought it was okay. But yeah, we remain gridlocked, but here comes the fun part. This is where I should have wrecked right here. Got to run, they get loose, and so thankful there's an opening up high. NMJ was smart, gave me some room, and then they start wrecking. Oh my goodness. And then they start wrecking again. Oh my goodness, again. I see a run, I use it. I take it high, side draft, and bring it home for a nice P3 finish. And I got lucky with some net code. We come across the line straight. So yeah, really fun run, really fun last lap there. I'm really happy we got a top 2 out of that. We made something out of nothing.
I could just imagine having this like fast forwarded 2x and through the fire and flames playing in the background and just you making that huge charge up near the front. So, but Christian, before we let you go, who do you want to give shout outs to?
Yeah, obviously huge shout out for Cash Call bringing me back another season for CCR. Big shout out to him. Shout out to all glory to God, man, for allowing me to get a top 3 finish here today. In the UIS. I'm really happy, looking forward to the season. Finally got Saturdays off from my boss, so I'll be for sure using that to my advantage. I think we can make a run here this season in the postseason. It's been a minute, unfortunately. I've just been busy with work and whatnot, but Yeah, I'm really excited. Again, huge shout out to Cash Club. Huge shout out to God for allowing me to race today. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my baseball team. Shout out to the Cubbies. Shout out to UIS. Shout out Chase George. And that's about it, man. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
right. You as well, Christian. Take care, man. There goes Christian Zarate, the third place finisher of the night. So, as we move forward to 2 weeks from now, we've got the duels at Daytona, May 2nd at 9 p.m. Don't want to miss it right here on Precision Entertainment. Jeremy, final thoughts before we let you go.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it was a really good show tonight. Good race. Probably first there for the interview driver walking us through replay. The finish kind of like that. It was something different. So I think it was a really good showing of what's to come with some really entertaining racing as we move on throughout the rest of the year.
We are excited for what's to come. The duels 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. We've got the 500 all right here on Precision Entertainment. So we bid adieu on this Saturday night on behalf of everyone here with the Universal iRacing Series. Our producer this evening, DJ Lyon, our social media and pit reporter, Jagger Finley, the broadcast partner, Jeremy Miller, Marty Sakala saying so long. This broadcast has been a presentation of Precision Entertainment. Congratulations to Tyler Helms, your winner of the Clash at Daytona. So long, everyone.
Is this your ghost? 'Cause I'm in the mood for an exorcism. Can you get me in? I'll ask the spirits for permission. Or should I call your bluff when all you do is lie to me? When you're high as fuck and the vultures watch over us. Over us. Well, they said it wouldn't last. The world is spinning way too fast. The hole's inside me and I can't control it. Let it go. Stranglehold. So bring me to my knees. My time is running out. The flame is burning out. The heart beats, now it bleeds. Well, I need you now. Well, I need you now. Don't cry, you're my muse. You're the one who kept me in tune. My songbird, I miss you, I pray I'll see you soon. Just don't say goodbye. Please don't say goodbye. Just don't say goodbye. Just don't